this elimination.
Going to get caught out here, though, by this attempt towards the bounty runes. Arteezy might be the one that actually scouts out this position first, but just pathing. Catch TA.
Great stun, though. Flipping onto two and Arteezy with the hook. Get Abed out the safety. This might be 4 bounty runes for EG.
He's considering it.
No, this is meta.
Oh, yeah, I just got it. Thought I got denied. So, all right, 4 bounty runes for EG. Nice little injection of gold. All right, fine. I hate to see it, bro. This is you're hoping for a little bit. I mean, I was so close to getting that first blood. Fly with it, double stun, and then you get the hook out from Arteezy.
Very nice. Yeah, just in terms of, you know, there's going to be a lot of teams, Sonics in particular, cheering for EG this time around. Sonics actually have a fair few of the, let's call them easier opponents, or opponents that haven't had quite as many wins so far, whereas Boom, they're coming up against a few of the juggernauts here, so the standings are super up in the air.
That they are indeed. Anything can happen at the TI stage. The caliber teams we have, everyone is so goddamn close, being able to take maps off each other.
On the bottom side. I mean, dahak, again, early on, you don't have the greatest amount of armor on this Visage, so every single time you can get those big right clicks coming in, although Fly.
He'd be chased down, but Arteezy's going to be able to tank some of the battery assault charges, so it's a nice harassment. Top lane as well. Crit's also falling pretty low. Be able to get off into the tree line. Nightfall acting as the bodyguard. Of course, we do also see with the lane spot for Betboom, you've got the Visage, the carry for them playing down bottom into the Pudge lane. And you also have the Slardar up in the safe lane. So what do you feel like the reasoning is? Oh, another hook from Arteezy. Still without the level 2. With that rot to be able to hold the Hawk into place.
That's the thing that they've been doing really well on Betboom. They pulled the wave. They made sure that Arteezy wasn't able to get a lot of those early last hits, even though they're slightly in the lead right now on the net worth. Experience-wise, it's slightly favoring Betboom, but Betboom don't want it to be this close underneath the tower. There's always that threat of being hooked back, getting that easy kill to be able to accelerate Arteezy. And I mentioned before that Betboom need to get off to a good start. This is an early game-oriented draft.
Bottom lane, the action will always continue. Fly. He's got 3 mangoes, so he can just chuck out the stuns to easily set up for the hooks.
Top side.
Top lane, there's battling going on as well, as noticed. He's going down to the Trample of Nightfall, but he's got to sell to be able to help out with the resources.
A lot of the time are looking to, rather than deny away their flag bearer creep as well, just be able to keep it up for as long as possible, even just for that 3 mana regen that it's going to, sorry, health regen that it's going to provide you. Playing around that quite heavily on the top side. Abed Lyle just trading right now, not really a kill lane for either of them, so around potentially protecting some of those power runes.
Do we feel like this is a lane that Lyle should be worried about, or is going to have some difficulties, I should say, into the Templar Assassin? Like, really need those rotations? Okay.
I mean, the TA isn't one of those mobile heroes, right? So you're not really going to be able to instantly close in onto either of the power runes. Of course, it helps. Like, you're the one that actually wants to be the initial rotator. And I don't believe they've built up any stacks for the TA just yet on EG. So Lyle shouldn't be all that worried. He just needs to play the lane, get the most out of it, and worry about not falling behind in the last hits department.
Which is doing pretty well in at the moment. Top of the last hits here for the Pangolier. It's a bottle refill thanks to the bounty, and they're going to have the water rune up shortly as well. So now they're going to be able to slow down the Abed Templar Assassin. Of course, this is a slight advantage that Betboom have just in regards to the matchup, where the Pango can look to influence the side lanes, whereas the Templar Assassin is the win condition. He's going to look to get as much farm as he possibly can. Taneko top lane's going to be in some trouble. Nightfall can easily trample on top, and first blood picked up for the Primal Beast.
He was going for the hook there, while dahak was just pathing behind the trees, and you had Clockwork pulling the wave. Roger behind the T1 tower. I mean, the issue for dahak is right now, he is way behind on net worth, and you've got this big wave coming underneath the tower that I don't think you've got the ammunition to be able to take down any of these things.
Dire structures are fortified.
Very happy just to keep them running at you, feed a lot of that experience over. Going to be a full level ahead once this creep wave dies.
Going to be cautious. Stun tucked out, but Arteezy just wants to farm instead of going for the hook. All the side lanes very close potentially members going down. You see the bottom aggression and the top side as well. Crit in Nightfall. It's actually going to be Betboom that make the attempt, but notice very hesitant about moving forward. Crit's in a position where always Primal Beast can look to step in and help out if required.
Fly here might be in a little bit of trouble. We've got the level 2 battery assault. But again, another great hook by Arteezy twice now, saving his team's life.
They might now turn it onto Roger with a little bit of damage coming through from the rock. Only level 1. Just the harassment coming through, nothing too crazy.
Showing up this TI, isn't he? TZ. First Siege creep wave. We'll see if Arteezy chooses to just instantly hook Siege itself, just to get, again, a little bit of that experience boost. He's half a level ahead of Dahak right now, and I'm worried if I'm Betboom. I really don't think they have the damage, especially since he just had those infused raindrops delivered.
Top lane. Nightfall, he's going to go for it. In fact, a double charge finds the angle. A crush ball holding back for the moment, but the right click damage coming through. Nightfall just slaps him down, and now bottom lane as well. Dahak trying to get some distance thanks to the boots, but Arteezy's onto his target.
Dire's
The
middle
rock.
tower is under attack.
Dahak will just be able to get some separation though.
Most of the times you see a dual melee lane and you think, oh, this isn't going to work out too well, but these two just have such great synergy. Nice hook.
Kill, EG, off to a great start, 2,000 net worth lead, 3 kills for the Radiant boys.
And essentially no way to die here on Arteezy. It's going to rely on Lyle rolling through. He's got his level 6 and he wants to push that lane out as quickly as possible. He can afford to expend his spells as well because he's got that regen rune that he was able to pick up. He make the move up towards the top side, but you're going to see it. And Lyle even gets that nice little D-ward off. He's going to be able to get rid of the Psionic Trap as well if he was wanting to. Done it in the mid lane, but yeah, here we go. One more lane pushed out, I think, and then he's going to look to make a movement, maybe with the Orb of Corrosion once it's still...
Feels like it's a lot of pressure on Lyle though to connect with this rotation.
Radiant's
A
middle
little bit of
tower
pressure
is
onto
under
the tower,
attack.
okay. Played a little bit more of the passive route, maybe just not wanting to move until he gets that Orb delivered. Top side, they've gone for another dive here. Notice is pushed all the way back underneath his tower.
They can aggressively glyph if they want to. In fact, they're just going to continue to run through the tower range.
Radiant's
Pushing
structures
Seneko and
are
noticed.
fortified.
Out of the way.
Dire's
And yep, there's the
top
glyph coming
tower
up, but also the
Oh,
rotation.
look at that.
from Lyle.
Did you see the micro on the courier?
Scouts him out. Lyle's not going to get anything out of this as Kurt jumps to the high ground. Gonna pop a stick for
Dire's
enough mana to
middle tower
TP.
is under
Seneko
attack.
does get a glimpse of the Snapfire, however. Does look like they're going to be able to catch up to just the crit.
Go for this?
Hopefully secure. He's all getting very close to Seneko, but doesn't have the spells to be able to turn it back around. So there we go. Well, in the end, we'll be able to get the first kill for Betboom.
That space created all that time. Abed was just sitting in the mid lane, hitting the tier 1 tower, already down to half HP. All of that time that you spent up with a simple rotation that just didn't work out. Lyle can actually go here for Abed, but do they have the damage? I don't think they do.
I don't think they do as well, even with the Hawk being nearby.
Dire's
It's a nice
middle
bounce
tower is
forward.
under attack.
Hawk being down fly, but this here is relatively tanky. But the Ocean dodge of the Stormhammer. Lyle's okay for the moment. Doesn't get a lot of distance away. They can move on as Crit puts Abed into the middle. One more right click is going to be able to secure the kill, but now Abed's in a compromised position. As the Hawk is going to be able to secure a big kill for Betboom. Roger as well is pushing on forward. They're going to turn it back onto Fly. They can use the Pango illusions to tank the tower if required, and Betboom get a double kill in the mid lane.
So important for Dahak, right? He didn't actually get that first kill because it was one of the Pango illusions that ended up getting the right click, but still, gets him close to that level 6, gets a huge amount of net worth over to him. Still a fair way behind, but looking like a hiding to nothing he was having here at the very beginning of this game. Gets that level 6, the map can open up a little bit. It can cause the next movement that comes out from Lyle to actually result in maybe a tower going down.
On mid lane. They're going to be cautious because the smoke from Betboom, Roger and Seneko connecting straight onto the Templar Assassin once again with Nightfall's rotation. It's going to be enough chaos to keep the Templar Assassin alive. They need detection. And with a sentry drop, they'll be able to bring him down, but EG bringing the forces to be able to win out in the skirmish. A 3-for-2 trade in the end.
And they made sure to instantly make that rotation as well, realizing that Rolling Thunder wasn't up at the start of that fight. It's available now, but you've already lost 3 heroes, so Bedboom, even despite losing Abed, you'll be very happy with that trade because you've still got this Pudge who, was involved in all of that without the single death. He's gotten into the Vanguard now, so again, mentioning how effective that's going to be against the Pango, against the Visage, all of this physical damage.
Is he going to get some free familiars?
Radiant's middle tower is under
doubt
attack.
Alright, let's see what they can... We've got a DD on low, Rolling Thunder's back up as well, and that Orb of Corrosion, so this could be an opening here for Bedboom to potentially find a kill.
Where exactly they go to make their move. Like, the Hark is still mode farm right now. Can't afford to be consistent going for these kill attempts. Just had the Tome delivered to Clockwork, so Roger is going to have his level 6 with a hook shot. Ideal if you're able to take out crit, for example. Stop a lot of that damage, and more importantly, the mobility providing from the Fire Snap cookie. Wrap around, he's found crit. He's level 6 as well, so are they in a position yet to converge on Seneko and Notice? Doesn't seem like he wants to make the move just yet, but his smoke's about to expire. He has to be careful about a lot of this movement because he's underneath an Observer Ward.
Oh, space for EG. Network League continuing to grow. They're back at the triangle. Farming up an ancient stack. You got Arteezy mid lane as well, but they're actually going to TP fly top. Looking to take a team fight or potentially even finally get this first objective of the game.
Look at how much they're protecting this though. 2 Observer Wards, both in the lane as well as closer towards their tower. Not wanting to get caught out by a hook from the Pudge or something as simple as, oh, they're going to go in. The move.
Roger will start. Nightfall's the target, but look at the follow-up. Artillery getting rained down onto Roger's head. They're going to swap him to get some distance away, but still Crit's able to bring him down. And now Arteezy's in as well. A beautiful cookie puts him in prime position to capitalize on Slardar being out of place. And now Arteezy wants more blood as well. They see Seneko under the tower. Hook still on cooldown. Seneko will make it out.
They had full vision. They had full understanding of exactly where EG were positioning, and they still aren't able to connect on that team fight. That's how far ahead EG are, not just in net worth, but the experience department as well. They weren't able to finish their food, that initial kill onto Nightfall, because that was a huge portion of the damage in that team fight coming through from him. Crit as well, just showing up again. 2,000 damage being dealt by the Snapfire with a Mortimer's Kissy.
And you also just have Abed, who is free farming, and I think this is a really, really scary Templar Assassin game. When you're a lineup that is a lot of single target, pretty much the only way to deal with refraction is to swashbuckle from low.
He got the birds, I guess. But yeah, I completely understand what you're going for there. It is just... It's a lot, and you've got to have a lot of heroes who are probably going in before you, right? Primal Beast, even the Sven to a lesser extent. Arteezy's eventually going to be able to get a Blink Dagger after he finishes his Ags.
Being ahead of EG, they can look to itemize to deal with the minus armor that will come out from Bedboom. That is their big concern at the moment. How are you going to be able to keep yourselves alive against a lot of the physical damage? A little bit of space though for the Hawk. Vlad's completed. Into the Wraith Pack next. Seems like he needs more time, and the boys need more time as well, but how long do they really need? I
was really thinking that probably they weren't going to take that fight up top because they were pretty happy. They scouted out the movement. It was potentially a lot of wasted movement coming through from EG, especially considering it was a flying TP, right? So maybe they could have made a move elsewhere. Maybe they could just sit back and allow the Hawk to get that first key item because I still don't think they're ready. They've got the Diffusal Blade, but in the meantime, because of losing that fight, they don't feel confident enough to be able to fight yet. They lose a tier 1 tower as a result of Abed's consistent harassing whenever these fights are going on, and now they're free enough to make the smoke.
Nice scam. Very, very nice scam from Bedboom. Gonna play with their own counter smoke. So trying to get to bottom, maybe baiting to Hawk in the lane. They've got to be pretty quick though. They're going to be able to scout the Hawk out. TPs are starting to come through, but the Mortimer Kisses should be able to deal with the passive easily enough. Nemo onto the tier 1 tower though, Bedboom. They will be able to find Abed caught out as well. So a 1-for-1 at least across the map. Bedboom do find something.
I'd say that's preferable for Bedboom, to be honest. I mean, being able to take out Abed, he was scaling, but I suppose it is still your win condition, right? Onto Hawk. This is the reason that you pick him, this hero first. Such a prominent name with the hero, and Gonna have to back off. They're not gonna be able to resolve this in too much extra pressure around the map. Dahak even just using his familiar to keep this creep wave available, realizing that he needs that little bit of extra gold, that extra experience coming through, and he's got to get it from 2 creep waves.
Go for this. People on a T2 tower.
I mean, the other aspect of this is once you get the levels on Dahak, you get this point booster to be able to finish up the Wraith Pact. No real other huge items coming through soon. Maybe the Blink Dagger on Notice, but I feel like you need to go before then. This is a lineup that just shreds through Roshan as well, right? So you take a successful team fight off the back of the vision, more notably up towards the top side near Roche, where you've actually got a good understanding, and then you can look to connect onto that next key objective. Dying though on Dahak, as yep, they get a nice little D-ward off as well from Roger to make sure that a little bit of EG's vision game is removed from the equation.
This is the big thing now. Dahak very, very close to the Wraith Pact, and you just mentioned that possibility for them to be able to take Rose, so probably see them try and force a fight around mid. They can get a pick off. They'll probably need 2 kills just because the net worth deficit that it is at the moment. Then maybe with those kills they can look to force the issue and try and take that Roshan. Top lane Lyle in some trouble. Arteezy's going to try and bait. We see Betboom heavily commit with Crypt being nearby.
Up his life for free. The important thing is you're against a Pudge, you're against all these strength heroes, so the Diffusal Blade's going to give a lot of value for Lyle as well. Been lucky enough to get the Tumbler's Toy just for a little bit of that extra mobility. Some of these early team fights. They're actually getting both of Pudge.
Crit's here. A Cookie to reposition. As soon as they see the Snapfire, Lyle, he won't be able to continue on forward for more. So it's a Rolling Thunder expended.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I feel like they don't want to wait too much longer, though. I mean, you didn't go for the Blink Dagger on Noticed. He's just looking to be a right-click beast right now. Power treads, he's building up towards that BKB for himself, realizing that I've got a hook shot, I've got a Rolling Thunder to be able to make plays around, but if that Rolling Thunder's on cooldown, you don't. You have to just sit back, be a little bit more passive, and Abed's going to accelerate his farm much faster than your team.
Fall's got a BKB to play with if required. Gonna get some distance with the onslaught, but the rest of the boys are starting to move over. A beautiful Cogs push away. They're gonna be able to bring him down though. Nightfall ever so tanky. The Pulverize gonna be a soft in its tracks thanks to the swap. In fact, it was the Dismember instead. Now with a Cookie on forward, Arteezy trying to get on top of the Slardar as well, but will not be the case. So Nightfall just showing how ridiculously hard it is to bring down this Primal Beast, especially if EG are positioning behind him.
Ooh, I'm wondering, like, when do they consider to go Roshan? Because if EG is able to take that one away from Betboom, that's going to go a long way towards their victory. And it's not like they don't have the tools to be able to do it, right? They've got a TA, the double meld, you've got the 1 value point into the little Shredder as well on crit. Just a lot of that minus armor to enable them to go for it. And yeah, that's what Betboom's worried about. They use the scan onto the Roche pit, realizing that he can't afford to give this one up. And now though, EG, you're just going to play a little bit more of the passive game. Do they jump Arteezy underneath the tier 1 tower? They don't feel confident enough just yet. Crit would be big.
EG gets the hook. Onto Dahak, the instant response is going to be there as Nightfall just charges into the middle. Val's going to try and create some chaos as well with the Rolling Thunder. It's a beautiful ultimate coming out from the Pango. The rest of Betboom have been forced back away. They will not be able to capitalize. And now with Nightfall off to the right side, trying to target down Roger. Again, the back and forth is there. Both sides do an incredible job at the spell casting to keep their core members alive.
Lyle playing very un-Lyle-like. He's very common to just be wanting to go all in, and Arteezy was super killable there. Just a little bit more movement coming out of the Rolling Thunder. You had another swashbuckle available. Yeah, you might have given up your own life, but I feel like stopping this Pudge before he gets into the Aghanim Scepter is more important.
I thought might be in some trouble top.
Zul,
Hookshot's on cooldown. Hookshot's on cooldown for 10. Seneco's got the swap if he can get in range, but just a little bit too far away. Work wasn't even there to be able to capitalize. See, they might even make an attempt on Notice mid lane.
Yeah. Gonna get these lanes in a pretty aggressive state constantly on EG. I mean, Arteezy.
Noticed. Might take some the TG tower. They're going to be forced to use the Mortimer Kisses to try and blow him up, but it's not enough damage for the swap. Oh, no to stay is alive, and now Nightfall's the one that's in trouble with Betboom. They brought the numbers to protect him. The Rolling Thunder continuing on forward, but Nightfall's too fast, man. Law can't even catch up. Oh, no. The Rolling Thunder doesn't even close the distance. Meanwhile, off to the other side, Fly and Crit. The duo support from EG get the kill onto the Clockwork.
Oh, nice TP by Notice.
In the end, Notice into the tree lines, able to bring down Crit, and Fly will step out to the left side.
Just want to see that race again coming through. You know, that was Vin Diesel and Paul Walker going on. Fast and the Furious coming through between the Primal Beast and the Pangolier.
So, what's going on with this Pango build? What are your thoughts on the Manta style from LoL?
Good question. Honestly, I'm not sure. What was he even able to dispel here? Don't know. Don't know off the top of my head. Maybe I'm not seeing something super obvious, but it's really feel like Lyle wants to try and scale, wants to keep lanes pushed out, more things to use the Diffusal Blade on, I guess, in team fights, but I would feel much more confident if he was just going into that Aghanim Scepter that I love.
I mean, there's some cool Manta dodges he can do.
I guess, but
if it's worth, what is it, 5,100? How much is it? 4,600.
a lot of money.
I'm very excited to see. A lot of money. I'm very excited to see. He's got Basher and Skadi queued up as well. So it does look like Lyle's trying to be a real big threat as the game goes on. Like you said, maybe just the extra Manta illusions to help with the diffusal burn. Potentially is trying to push out the side lanes. We'll see. But Betboom,
yeah,
they get some kills. They can definitely go into Roche. It's a big team fight for Betboom to bring themselves back into this game one. The triangle's going to be the target as Roger hookshots in. They really want to get onto Arteezy. Fly's going to put himself in the middle, acting as the bodyguard, but they're still pushing on forward for more as Lyle just beeline straight towards the Pudge. But can they chill with the rest of EG members?
Oh, yes, they can.
Nightfall moving off to the right side, protected for the moment, and Betboom. What an incredible team fight for them. They bring down 3 and now can look to get Roche.
Yeah, right in front of the pit, get rid of the TA trap coming through there. Arteezy didn't actually pop the flesh heap there. Otherwise, I feel like they would have felt quite confident, but with some of that vision that they've been able to place down, that they see Nightfall around the area, he's building up into a lot more of that armor for himself, going into the plate mail already towards the Shiva's guard. A very effective tool, not just for his own protection. Up here, point booster, picked up with the plate mail.
Back to the Shivers.
Back to the Shivers. Just calm down.
Rolling Thunder's going to be back up shortly as well. Nightfall's going to be playing with the BKB, but the instant use of the bash stops the pulverize in its tracks. Roger can help Betboom reposition. In fact, they want to go back in, targeting down Abed. Been able to deal with the refraction. A beautiful double stun. Some back and forth with the posture.
Another tip.
Finds an opening for the double stun. This can enable Nightfall to charge into the middle. But he just gives over his life, and with the disarm, Abed can't continue to right click. They need to bounce back off the wall while unable to find an angle to get onto the Templar assassin. So in the end, a 1-for-1 from both sides.
You just see how much emphasis they go on towards giving Abed that potential to live, to get that next kill. Paul realizes that once those BKBs are popped, I'm pretty damn useless, so I just got to throw my life in there. I felt pretty tanky with the plate mail, but not.
LoL is a gigantic reason of why this net worth lead is continuing to be cut. I am incredibly impressed with the game that he's had so far. 6-1-3, second in net worth on the Pangolier. The fact that you are keeping up with the Templar Assassin is crazy.
Reading an interview that he had, and he was like, I don't get nervous. I just want to play Dota. Doesn't matter if we finish first or we finish last. I don't have any excitement at all about playing TI. He said, my task is to win, and that's it. So I'm going to dub him the Terminator, because it just feels like he is a robot that is designed to play Dota.
Robot, no emotions. Well, he's really leading them to a stage where you get another team fight. That's Roche all of a sudden there for Betboom, and then potentially their lineup. Again, this is a a 5-man that can end the game relatively early. We're only 24 minutes in. You get Aegis all of a sudden, some towers, and this game can get really out of hand.
And when they made that previous movement and they were able to kill Arteezy and fly, Dahak wasn't level 12 yet. He was still level 11, so those familiars had only half of their current damage. Now they've got that damage, amplified of course by the Wraith Pack. They've got the drums as well, so a bit of a power spike coming here for BetBoom. G feel like they're strong enough to be able to contest against it. Go a long wrap around, and again just using the Manta illusions to push out some of these waves. Big reason is why Lyle is now top of the net worth.
Roger's got great positioning. We're going to see Arteezy moving on forward. Oh, connects a blind hook from Arteezy onto Roger, but the hook shot from himself. Roger will still die. Nightfall's going to charge in, and BetBoom feels strong enough to take the team fight. Lyle's going to try and find an opening with the Rolling Thunder, targeting down Fly. They don't want to heavily commit to put themselves in a compromised position as Crit. He's going all the way to the right side as well, so another freebie from BetBoom. But look at the importance of this team fight. Both sides know if anyone comes out on top, that just opens up the pit.
Both sides feel ready enough. Instantly remove that vision as well, although Abed will do the same. Confident enough to be able to go in. They know with all these buybacks being expended, if you had one on the bench, he would have used it by now. Scout out with the familiars for now. No hook shot for another 15 seconds.
On to Lyle, let's see if they can blow him up. Great use the Manta dodge, but still the stun is there into the dismember. Lyle's going to make it to the high ground, but the meld damage blows him up, and now they'll drag them all into the river. It's still EG, they're losing members. Notice acting like the raid boss. He doesn't give a damn about running into the middle. In combination with the Hawk, they find 3 EG members, and Lyle's even going to buy back as well. They want the prize of Roche.
Yeah, if they can give this Aegis over to Lyle, I think they're going to be incredibly happy with it. And they thought that they had this 5v4 situation, and they did, but the diebacks are expended on the Sven and the Snapfire. There's no way for them to be able to rejoin. Great hook coming out from Arteezy as well, it has to be said, but enough to clean it up. BetBoom, it's very clear that this is their big timing. They've taken the first Roche, they've got that big power spike around the Visage, reaching level 15 as well, by the way.
Top tower has fallen.
Well, let's have a look at that Manta dodge. There. He ends up swashbuckling back into the Pulverize and just melting to Nightfall, but still directs a lot of attention away from himself, and every time that you're allowed to just sit Dahak in onto the backlines, it means that he's able to dish out that super consistent damage.
This is going to be a really scary period now for EG. Like you just mentioned, the Visage having level 15 in combination with the Slardar's 2 points in Corrosive Haze.
And the AC
you got the
as well,
wave
I
turn
think.
maxed
Picked
out.
out by Dahak.
Oh my. Because Arteezy doesn't have an armor item just yet. I guess phase boots, honestly, Dragon Scale, you get pretty lucky with a neutral item drop. But until he gets plate mail, Arteezy is very, very vulnerable to being killed off.
Yeah, and he's talented for it as well. So 4 armor, every little bit helps, but he's going to need every single point of that.
Bottom Nightfall. Looking for a solo kill, but it's very close to the tier 1 tower, and he doesn't have many members of EG nearby. He can look to rotate in. Lyle's the initial target's going to be able to get some distance away. Can they bring him down though with the first life? They're going to be able to secure it thanks to the Mortimer Kisses. They'll turn to Seneko next in the river as well. A great start of the fight for EG, but can they get more? As Arteezy finds the look onto Lyle, is just caught out. The Pangoli doesn't have any of the boys protecting him. And now EG going to move over the triangle. The familiar stun covering the TPR. Beautiful micro from the heart. Looks like Roger will not be as fortunate. No escape between a rock and a hard place as EG find 3 and now some more objectives to be claimed.
Yeah, and they know, again, no buybacks available for this Pango, as well as the Clockwork, I believe, unless he expended it previously. So they're going to be able to continuously push on forward. Might look to expend their bodies to be able to protect this siege creep, but no. Abed feels confident enough with the refraction, with the fact that they're going to be fighting this 5v2. They don't need to go for it. But yeah, again, this is the power that you get from the Primal Beast, right? You can just run on in. Doesn't matter if you've got this bash that goes through the BKB, if you're just never able to land it. Those damn mini stuns being a menace for Noticed, and well, ended up giving up his life a couple of times for free. I thought maybe Dahak coming in with his rotation from the left-hand side would have been able to change things, but again, Nightfall just makes that movement in onto him, make sure that he's not able to free cast and has to play under a little bit more panic.
Just EG making sure that everyone comes down. It was a location in the map that it was going to be very difficult for all their members to be nearby, but as soon as the fight broke out, so just the heroes swing to the right side and make sure have at least all 5 members to be able to take the skirmish, which was a big advantage for Betboom. Well, the net worth lead fell down to pretty much only 2,000. They had the ages advantage, but now it's ballooned back up to 8k here for Evil Geniuses.
But it's not like Betboom are out of it entirely. You know, they missed that timing, and I'm sure they're going to be hurting about that. But you've got other ones coming. I was mistaken. He didn't have the full AC on the Courier, so still about 650 gold left before he picks that up onto Hark. You've got the Aghanim Scepter now on the Clockwork as well. You know how much I love that, just providing a little bit of extra vision. Nearly level 18 on the Pango with the Basher. Nearly level 18 on Modus as well. That's not good though.
No, not at all. At least it's a Clockwork that goes down, but this might be a T2 tower that's going to take some damage as well. Instead, EG want to try and get control of the top jungle. We get some wards down, get another lane shoved out as well so they can occupy a good chunk of the map.
Kickoff's pretty great, right? They've got Blink Dagger on multiple heroes now. Pudge, the TA, of course, Nightfall doesn't need it right now. He's got the Shiva's Guard as well to feel completely safe, and
Dire's middle tower.
some old teammates, you know, coming together.
At least he said sorry, he didn't mean it. That's easy.
Dire's middle
He's going to get him a little bit closer to the Hawk. Familiar will protect him, but he's going to lose them, unfortunately. He doesn't have a re-summon. No jokes, okay. Full Phantom, but this is looking scary. AGC, all of them. Noticed and Law. There's a great ward for them to play with. Be cautious. They need the Slardar. Nice sidestep though. Dodge is out on the hook. Seneko might be forced to swap. Quite. In fact, he's going to swap Nightfall into the base. Instant use the BKB, protecting the Primal Beast. They might even be able to go for Roger next as well. He's caught outside. There's Betboom just giving over a couple of freebies, and EG, they might think about knocking on the high ground.
Now, you've effectively got zero value out of this overclocking. You know, I know Clockwork, his main role in a lot of these team fights is to go in first, to be able to force those early BKBs out, but if you're not using that overclocking, you're missing out on a ton of damage against the backlines in particular.
Easy. Jump straight onto the high ground, trying to knock down Pango. Wild's in trouble without any way to keep him alive. They're going to turn to Notice next.
Even just using the lift to be able to try and provide that multi-shot through, and they get double hook.
Oh no.
Arteezy's on point, man. 2-11, looking to close this one out before they reach that next big power spike on Betboom. Landing another one, and it's not just the one tower that they're going to be able to get. Very easily look to claim the bottom side as well. Still plenty of time with Lyle and Seneko in the grave.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
They even defend it. Not RT. What are you doing to the man?
Radiant's
I see more RT. Pudge, what is going on? These hooks.
As if people needed more of a reason to pick the Pudge, right? Now Arteezy's going to play it, so rip everyone's pub. We're going to be looking to see this, but if you can play it like Arteezy, go for your life. I like the way that EG have itemized. You know, Arteezy doesn't quite have the plate mail picked up for himself. It's in his quick buy, but, you know, even just things like the Guardian Greaves on Prince Snapfire, giving a little bit of armor. You've got the Shiva's Guard. You've got, you know, even people holding on to the Ring of Aquila. Even though it might not be the most efficient item, just that little bit of armor is going to provide that extra protection that you need to be able to withstand the initial burst, get the BKBs off, and make the turnarounds happen. Maybe they might have committed a little bit too hard here with the initial spells, but Arteezy, just fearless. You're going to be able to go on in, use that Blink Dagger effectively. And they make that secondary move. You can't be losing the supports. This is what I was talking about. Zero value out of the overclocking so far from Roger. Almost feels like he needs to be using it now to keep the lanes pushed out, because super creeps are just going to start passively pushing into your base. And Slardar, Clock, Venge, typically they don't deal with split push very well at all.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
choosing to
gonna
clump
be
up
very-
instead on Betboom. Shove out our lane, go for a smoke. This might be fairly
Radiant
obvious
are
though,
scanning.
considering no one else was showing on the map. So
Radiant's
EG making
middle
sure
tower
to
is under
bump up
attack.
around their vision, close as they
Dire's
can
top
as a
tower
team
is under attack.
around an area. No black hole, no ravage.
Dire
It's
are
instantly
scanning.
going to catch out all of them. Want to be able to withstand this, and it's really obvious too. With the tier 2 tower on the top side, take a little bit of harassment. So
Radiant's
good
middle
positioning,
tower
good
is
map
under
reading
attack.
coming through from EG. This is the
Radiant's
power that
structures
taking
are
those early
fortified.
racks provides you.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're just probably going to keep shoving it top and force them back eventually.
Yep.
Starting to ping the high
Radiant's
ground.
middle tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under
Actually going to
attack.
have to reset the
Radiant's
formation
middle
inside the
tower
base for
is under
Betboom.
attack.
One last lane of barracks. Seneko hoping for an open to get that swap. See the instant response so that can come out from EG.
They're just playing around the Roche pit right now. You're going to see the familiars. They're going to take out one. High use of the TA trap. Use the Scardy just for a little bit of that extra vision. Claim the other familiar. Force a resummon out into Hawk, so now he doesn't have as much of the chain lockdown in these team fights either. And Roche's respawn. Everything going EG's way right now.
Gonna get the D-ward as well. One potentially. Another hook, man. Not the Roger, the trap vision. Thanks to the Aghanim shot. This goddamn TA shot. They tried to nerf it. They've tried, man. Multiple times, multiple patches. They've done their best to make this shot not as strong, but it is still so stupid. Mid lane, a swap into a lot of burst potential. Notice was ready and primed with the bashes. EG, they can reinitiate, they can go back in, an easy kill into the bench, and now Nightfall is going to turn down to the south, targeting a Notice, finding an opening for RTZ to get the Dismember out. They're going to be able to cover the retreat from Notice, but it might come at the cost of Wild's own life as he's stuck inside the river. EG find 4,
That'll
the
be
sole
game.
survivors to Hawk. It looks like that might be all she wrote. Top lane's getting shoved in, and Betboom do not have buybacks.
Yeah, I think they're just checking to see if they are actually going to go for the push. Maybe they were thinking, well, Roche is up. They might going to be able to claim that one, but yeah, this should be mega creeps very, very easily claimed by EG. EG set to be called soon. Went to the storm. They got past that scary timing around that little 15 or so on the Visage, around the AC, and
Top barracks are
a
under
couple of
attack.
simple pickoffs onto supports. The ones that were causing those BKBs to be popped so early.
Dire's top barracks has
So
fallen.
much more.
Dire's top barracks has fallen. The Radiant now have mega creeps.
Doesn't seem like an easy lineup to be able to defend Mega Creeps.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. It's a pipe dream from Seneko. Aghanim Scepter queued up. Not a chance that he's going to be able to pick this one up before the game ends. EG, they're going to go down the safe route. Again, they don't deal well with creeps pushing into their base. Let's just go take Roshan. A couple of people dead on the sidelines. They're going to be able to catch out Lyle. Nightfall might give up his body on the front just to be able to provide that extra distraction, but no need.
Oops.
Also on the ground? Abed
It's Vessel.
nearly just leaving. At least it's not an Aegis, man. You know, we've seen plenty of Aegises at TI just be left on the ground, maybe denied, you know, it's...
Radiant are scanning.
Maybe a little cheeky tonight. Anything can happen with the A-click. Scary, scary A-click inside the pit.
It's understandable for Betboom why they want to play it out, right? Any more chances to be able to, you know, experiment with a few things, maybe try different calls. I'm just huffing some copium here. You know, this game is over. It's been over for about 5 minutes or so, but you've got your tournament lives on the line. Any chance of something, you know, a fine intervention to come through.
I'm down. I'll have some copium as well. Swap into the crush from Notice into the chain control. I've got the moon shard. There's a 1% chance as well. I'll have the copium too. Let's see it. It's not good if Notice runs into Nightfall on the tree line though. Very scary once Mega Creeps get inside the base as well. So now EG know exactly where multiple members are. It's just a question of who do they want to jump in. Well, a cookie from Crit will set it up perfectly. RTZ is going to fall into the middle as well. Ra's going to try and distract him to get Betboom into a position where they can reset, but EG just way too far ahead, swarming into multiple members. Another incredible hook from RTZ. puts Lao into the grave for the final time this game as EG will find again.